I'm not in my usual spot. I'm actually in my bed. I'm in my bed chilling, but I wanted to talk about something. I'm wondering, are you guys hearing my fan in the background? I am gonna go on my second page and see if you guys are hearing my fan in the background. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to turn it off. Because I was just thinking about something the other day and I made some notes about it too. Because I feel like the Jamaican content space just ends up copying whatever the US space does. So I was gonna make a video on it, but I decided to just do it as a live stream. So I'm gonna bring up my notes and let you guys know exactly what I was thinking about, right? So I'm not in my usual space, but hopefully you guys aren't hearing my fan in the background. Let me 1 second. I'm gonna check if the fan is running in the background. This is Green Age 5. Hi, morning. Hi, morning, Nick. What's up? I have some stuff on my mind. I am just looking for the notes that I made. I'm wondering the notes that I made. I'm wondering the notes that I made. Okay, the fan sound isn't that bad. It is, but it's so it's not really loud, right? It's not that bad, right? Alright, just checking the audio. It's not that bad. Let me know if yeah. So just let me know if okay, lovely. Alright, so I did make some notes about this. I feel like the Jamaican content space always copies the US. So I feel like in a few months or a few years, there's gonna be another streamer university, but it's going to be in Jamaica. So based off of what I've seen in terms of trends in Jamaican social media, whatever is big in the US or in other countries, it usually ends up translating into Jamaica. Like for example, you had international people starting a bunch of podcasts in COVID. I was one of the Jamaican persons who started a podcast, but I was kind of on and off. It was an anime slash K-pop podcast. I still do it on my second page, right? So a lot of international spaces just started doing a bunch of podcasts, and now everybody and their mother have a podcast. Even though I started my podcast maybe 5 years ago, but I was on and off with it. But now it seems like every single person has a podcast and they're doing the same things, having the same guests, etc. So I feel like in the Jamaican space, the originality has been lost, right? It means I need to get stream more so I can join. Yeah. So if Jamaica has their own streamer university, I don't know if it's gonna be good, right? So let me tell you, based on what I'm seeing, I feel like Kai has made a good formula in terms of making like a streamer space, especially for people of color, etc. Because I saw like a little Jamaican kid got accepted, but he was in the US, right? But I feel like Jamaica is just gonna be stuck because, for example, when you had the different content houses in the US, you have different type of houses. You have the bop house now. You have the other kind of houses in Jamaica. A few years after they made Social House, and then they made 876 Roommates. So I feel like Jamaica is just like what the kids would say now, reheating used nachos, basically. So I don't feel like there's a lot of originality when it comes to content creation. So for example, like me and Chromenick is like a Minecraft gamer. He does role play things as well, like making up stories, and it's kind of like, would you say it's like LARPing? I'm not sure if that's the term for it. I make food, commentary, anime and K-pop content. That is not usually the content that's socially acceptable in Jamaica. So a lot of people would not watch my content and would not interact with my content. And because I limited myself to Jamaican context, I didn't have a lot of people who followed me. Majority of the people who follow me now are from like India, the UK, US. So if you limit yourself to just your country, you will never get anywhere, right? So, in terms of streamer university, I'm predicting that Jamaica's social media space is going to make a streamer university for themselves, just like how they had 876 house and social house after the whole heap of content houses in the different countries. And then, I don't know, like a famous saying that we have, when the US sneezes, Jamaica gets a cold. So, like, I have the notes. I have my notes on my next phone. That's why I'm looking down. So once the US sneezes, Jamaica gets a cold. So whatever the US does, Jamaica ends up doing. Because during COVID as well, you had, for example, a lot of, let me say, prank channels, couples channels, usually during COVID. During COVID, there was a lot of prank channels, couples channels, etc. So I feel like when you have that in the US as well, Jamaica ends up picking it up. And I just don't understand why everything the US has, Jamaica has to pick up. Like, we don't have any original content. And whenever you have original content, people look down on you for it. It's like you need to be making content about talking about your baby mother, baby father in order to get anywhere. Hi. Morning, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. We're having an open conversation about Jamaica possibly imitating Streamer University, right? Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Yes, so we're having a conversation about Jamaica possibly imitating Streamer University in the future. Thank you so much, Coco. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is GreenH5. I do commentary, cooking, and vlogs on my YouTube channel. I have almost 600 videos on my channel currently. So if you're interested in that kind of content, here go ahead and like the live as well as to subscribe to the channel. Thanks. So I have my notes about what I'm talking about on my next phone. So I'm just talking about how the Jamaican creator space feels so one-sided. It just feels like people are just promoting things instead of actually making content. I can't tell you the last time I've watched some of my creators making content and they're not talking about like Gift Me. Even though Gift Me is one of the only sponsorship things that pay out money, and trust me, if I knew how to use it, I would have set up like a Gift Me thing. But it just feels like their content is only Gift Me. It doesn't feel like the content is organic anymore. It just feels like everybody's just trying to sell you something, and I don't really like that. I don't really like that. It feels like people are just trying to sell you something. Thank you so much for being here, Coco. You are appreciated. Appreciated. Thank you so much. Where am I now? Sorry, I'm trying to find where in the notes I am. I feel like imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but sometimes it's just blatant ripping off other people's content. Like, sometimes you can do what other people are doing. Sure, you can modify the content, but sometimes it just feels like everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's just ripping off other people's content and then calling it inspiration, which is not the case. I feel like people are just using other people's content and they're not giving proper recognition. They're not giving proper, like, say, hey, this person inspired me to do this or inspired me to do that. So they don't make any small modifications. I don't think there are new concepts anymore, but people will gravitate to what drops. Yeah, I agree. Everything has been done before. I totally agree. Everything has been done before, and then you have some people who do like slight modifications to some things, and then it becomes, like, for example, in the food space, right? There are a lot of food trends that go on currently that are not new, but they kind of craft it as new. Hi, Anna. Morning. How are you? Thank you so much for joining in. So, like, for example, you had something called dot cakes, which is just basically white vanilla cake with some sprinkles on it, and people were looking at that and calling it like a new concept. Or even the cake cup thing that they had at what's it called, Sugar and Spice. It's just cake layered with icing and layered with more cake. It's basically like a wastage thing. So, like, for example, if you have the scraps left off of the cake, you can either turn them into cake pops or you can turn them into the layered cup things that they have at Sugar and Spice. And that's how they end up making more money, because they know how to craft the things in a certain way. Oh, new subscribers in the chat. You couldn't tell me. You guys couldn't tell me new people were here. Morning, Anna. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are appreciated. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. Oh, yeah. I forgot to put the question. So the question would be, will Jamaica copy streamer university? Inherently, it's not a terrible idea, but it just feels like, I don't know. It's not a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea if Jamaica creates a space like this for itself, because right now they have what's it called, the influence, which is like a creator space for people to, like, they have new ideas. I like that. I like the whole thing about the influence. I feel like that was a very good idea. It's like a space where you have some popular creators come together and make content together, which is good. I like that. I like that thing. All right, so we're going to go back to the topic of, will Jamaica copy Streamer University, right? I have some more notes on my phone, so I'm just going to go ahead and read them, right? So, and for me, this has nothing to do with trends. I feel like people are just imitating everything that's done on social media, and there's nothing inherently wrong with trends, because trends help people to go viral, and once people go viral, they get access to things that they've never had access to before. I see a couple creators going to the World Cup because of their content. You see IShowSpeed performed his World Cup song at the World Cup, and this is a guy that just started streaming video games and being extra, and then he just started doing world tour, learning about different cultures and people. So it is possible for you to get to certain spaces. Just create your content, because look at IShowSpeed. He got to such a far place because of him being himself. Look at Mr. Beast. He got to such a far place because he was just being himself. He had a vision, he had friends, and they just started making content, right? And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. Mr. Beast has been a YouTuber for over 10 years. It's not something that just, he didn't just wake up one day and was a millionaire. It takes time, and I feel like this generation doesn't like the idea of taking time to grow something, right? I've been doing YouTube for 5 years, and it means like years of consistency as well. It's just, you remember when Cartel made Teacher's Pet? Yes, I remember when Cartel made Teacher's Pet. It wasn't as popular at the time, right? I don't think there's a new I don't think there are new concepts anymore, but people will gravitate to what will drop some. Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know. So like I was saying, in my notes, I have the whole couples channel again. Like 2016, 2017, content pages were filled with couples and prank channels, and all those channels were popular. They were getting millions of views. And then all of a sudden you had 1,000,001 family channels. Everybody had a family channel. Everybody was posting their baby and their children and their day in the lives, etc. So I feel like Streamer University is just the next step. I feel like people are going to just start gravitating to Streamer University now as a concept, but they're gonna put it in different countries now. So I feel like Jamaica is gonna make their own Streamer University, because there were a few Jamaican content creators who applied to Kai Sinat's Streamer University, but none of them got through. I feel like this little kid that lives in the US, he got through with Streamer University. But yeah, it was a ripoff used in terms of an American, really? Yes, I think I remember the cartoon Teacher's Pet. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, everything is an inspiration. If you look at Drake, most of Drake's songs are samples. Like before he got really popular, he used to do like his mixtapes and stuff like that. But most of Drake's songs now, they're like samples of other songs. So there's nothing inherently wrong with trends and giving credit where credit is due, right? Oh, not the cartoon. Oh, just the show itself. Okay, all right, understood. So everything is an so everything is an imitation of each other, which is not inherently bad if proper credit is given and if people show respect to the other people, right? And if the content that's being made is done in such a way where people can enjoy it, you know? Um Alright, give me a second. I am trying to see if I can change the thumbnail on my thingy. I'm wondering if alright. I'm gonna change the question to a poll. I'm gonna change it to a poll so people can engage. Right? Will Jamaica copy? Whoa. That typo is crazy. Copy streamer university. And second of all, I didn't know that streamer university was this short of a time. Well, that makes sense because I see like streamer university is like maybe a week or 5 days, and so many people want to be a part of streamer university. I'm glad that Kai came back to his roots, right? He started to do his fashion thing, and then I don't know if a lot of people gravitated to that, but yeah. So I feel like Jamaica is going to make their own streamer university, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not, to be honest. I don't know if it's going to really be great. Because the one thing about Jamaica, they will take other people's things and then instead of improving upon it, they make it worse. In terms of the content space. Like, when it comes to our things, if it's original, we will do an amazing job doing original things, right? But if we're imitating or taking inspiration from something, I don't know how we end up making it worse. And I feel like, yeah, even with like the prank channels and the couples channels, like some of them don't make any sense to me. And some of them are doing the same tired pranks as the US channels. And the ones that were on the US channels weren't really that great either. So I don't know why they want to imitate foolishness, but that's okay. But streamer university is like a wave. A lot of people want to be a part of streamer university. A lot of people want to post their content, and this is why I keep saying post your content. I didn't know, like on Twitch, I got monetized on Twitch a few years back, and I've made money on Twitch. So I'm telling you, please, I'm trying to make content on YouTube now. Right? I'm trying to be consistent with my content on YouTube now so that I can build up my watch hours, and so that I will I want to build up my watch hours so that I can get monetized on YouTube, right? So that's why I'm telling you, no matter what you do it well. And if you do your content well, there is no way that you're not gonna end up. Discard. Alright, give me a second. I'm trying to create a thumbnail. I'm trying to create a thumbnail for my live stream. Have I ever showed you guys how I create my thumbnails? Let me show you. So I use, hold on. Yes, I use Canva. I use Canva to create my thumbnails. I feel like most people do. I feel like most people use Canva for their thumbnails. So what I do, I type in YouTube thumbnail. Right? I type in YouTube thumbnail, and then okay. Sorry. Alright, let me get back to the topic. Sorry, I keep straying. My bad. So, yeah. I feel like Jamaica is going to imitate Streamer University. And I'm trying to remember what there was this content creator named Tan Travels. She said it perfectly. She said that, for example, some of the big corporations they're creating influencers, right? And they're not really being organic. They're just, I don't know, they're just creating influencers, and those influencers are not really the best. Like, they don't really know how to keep an audience. They don't really actually know what content creation actually takes, right? They just imitate, like I said, they just keep imitating what America is doing, or they're imitating what. Alright, so it's not inherently bad. I don't think it's a terrible thing. I don't think it is a terrible thing for them to copy certain content because, like Chromnick said, there's nothing really original anymore. There's nothing really original out there, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like I'm just hungry for original content. I think the only person that's really doing it right now for me is Badsiki. Badsiki is extremely creative. I don't know how he comes up with half of the things that he does, but he is hilarious. He is ridiculously funny. And I like that he started posting his content because now um he's getting sponsorships and he's getting deals and he's able to make money straight off of content. He's done a lot of advertisements. He's done so many different things. Hi, morning. Yeah, I remember you. Good morning. How are you? Well, I think I remember the what's it called? I remember the picture, the profile picture. All right. Download. All right. See, so I just made the thumbnail. So I'm gonna put this up on the thing. Alright, so I'm gonna change the thumbnail on YouTube now. Guys, you can tell me if you see it when it comes up. But yeah, I felt like I wanted to do this topic specifically as a live stream instead of a I wanted to do this topic specifically as a live stream instead of a video. I was gonna make a video about it originally, but I don't feel like I have the time to. So 1 second. Give me a second, please, guys. 1 second. I am trying to change the thumbnail. I'm heading out. Have a busy. Oh, you have a busy day. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you for hopping in. Much appreciated. Okay. Cool. Alright, I just changed the thumbnail. Awesome. Okay, so back to... Oh my god. I lost my train of thought. Bye, darling. Have a great day. Please be safe. If you're going on the road, please be safe. Thank you. Okay. So I'm predicting Jamaica's social space is going to create a... Oh, wait. Yeah. Sorry, I read that already. I have my notes about what I want to say on my phone. I kind of feel like I got off track, which you guys would have saw. I was talking about thumbnails and I was talking about... Yeah. So let me get back to the notes. For example, it feels so... I don't know. The streaming culture in Jamaica is interesting because, first of all, it started out years ago. So it started out like from 2012, 2013 when Twitch just came out, right? Couple creators were on Twitch, couple people knew about Twitch, but it was mostly the gaming space in Jamaica, the anime gaming space, right? Most of those people knew about Twitch, and not a lot of people were streaming on YouTube at that time either. So a lot of people were new to the streaming space in Jamaica. I started streaming in 2020 during COVID. I started on Twitch and then I started on YouTube in 2026 actually. No, 2025 I think I started streaming on YouTube, right? And I feel like YouTube has been very good for streaming. Twitch has been really, really good for streaming because I do most of my anime content over there. Anime and gaming content on Twitch and on my second YouTube channel, right? So I feel like the streaming culture on TikTok in Jamaica is like you have to be talking about baby mother, baby father, who betray who is gonna do this to who. it feels so toxic, right? It feels like you have to really be in some sort of mix up to get anywhere on Jamaican TikTok. And everybody just sits down asking for taps and roses and for people to send them money, etc. Which is the culture of TikTok, because when I started streaming on TikTok, TikTok was actually asking me to do that. TikTok asked me to ask people to tap the screen or to engage. So TikTok kind of prompts you in a way to help with engagement, right? It kind of prompts you in a way to help with engagement in terms of interacting with the screen and doing that kind of a thing, right? All right. So let me go back. Sorry, I keep going off track. Okay, so now everything is they're trying to bring more entertainment value, right? In terms of streaming, vlog content, which I do as well. People are doing day in the life videos. People are doing more errand videos, which I do sometimes as well. So there are different spaces for different types of content in Jamaica. But I feel like it's only one set of content that gets pushed, right? Um, and I feel like every person that makes content, your content has to be interesting, first of all. I'm not saying that if you're throwing a stone across a river, or if you're throwing a stone across a river, or if you're doing foolishness, you should get followers and people regardless. No. Your content has to either be engaging, educational, you're teaching somebody something, educational, that's one. You have to be entertaining, that's two, which I hope I am. Three, you have to bring some sort of value to people when you're making content, right? So is that Shades? Good morning, Shades. How are you? Good morning. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is GreenH5. I do commentary, cooking, and vlogs on my YouTube channel. I currently have over 600 videos on my channel, including shorts, YouTube videos, and live streams just like this, where we have general conversations. So if you're interested in that kind of content, you can go ahead and like the live as well as to subscribe to the channel. How are you today? How are you doing? So we're talking about if Jamaica is going to imitate Streamer University. And based off of that, I was just talking about the content space in Jamaica overall being unoriginal, and everybody's doing the same sort of content, and one type of content is always being pushed regardless, right? So right now, before it was prank channels, I was saying it before that it was prank channels and it was couples content that was being pushed by Jamaican YouTube. Yeah. And then before that, everybody had like a family channel. Everybody's doing family channel content. Everybody was showing their children. And now everybody's making day in the life content, which I do that sometimes as well. Or I do vlogs as well. But I feel like the space. Good morning again. Hi. Sorry. So yeah, that's what we're talking about now. So is it your first time here? If it's your first time here, hi. So we already spoke about how TikTok only glorifies bad things in terms of live streaming. Jamaican TikTok only pushes like mix up and drama, and which content creator don't like who and who don't talk to who, and who for baby father do this and who for partner did that and who for man leave them or woman leave them, etc. It just feels like that's the only thing that really goes viral on TikTok in a way, right? It's your 100th time here. I don't even think I live streamed that much. Wow. But thank you for being here. Much appreciated. That means that you've been watching my other content too as well. So thank you so much. Much appreciated. New subscriber in the chat. Hey, flick your shoulder. Hey. Thank you so much for being here. I don't even have my horns or anything. Sorry about that. This was an impromptu stream, so that's why. Okay, so I have my notes. So I'm almost done. I'm almost done yapping, cause that's like my specialty. So I feel like I agree with Tan Travels. She's a big content creator on TikTok and on Instagram. I agree with her 100%. I just feel like companies and brands are just creating influencers just for the gimmicks. They're making content creators here in Kingston Okay, I am from St. Catherine. So I feel like they're just making content creators, like they're trying to make their own content creators. So, for example, you're not seeing them paying a lot of content creators out here anymore. You have a few brands that may invite a few of them once in a while, but brands are now creating their own content creators and creating their own shows and creating their own influencers. And then those persons don't know how the content space actually works. They have an idea, they have a concept of, like, for example, the algorithm, SEO, how AI interacts with the algorithm now. They have a general idea of what it is because they went to marketing school. They have a marketing degree. They have a general idea of what the marketing space is online, and they have a general idea of what you have to do to get a video to be viral, right? But they don't have that organic, charismatic feeling about them that kind of pushes the content. Because, for example, if you watch like a Bad Siki video, you see that Bad Siki doesn't really sell you anything by actually selling you anything. He makes a skit. He makes a funny skit. And one time he was playing a song in a skit, and somebody said, "Man, you know which song that?" And he was like, "Oh, this is a song by so so and so." Like he was promoting the song, but he wouldn't really know that he was promoting the song. He made a funny skit with the song included. So that's how you make content. You don't blatantly say, "Hi, I am so and so brand and I've been doing this so so and so," right? Or follow, yeah, you can follow the TikTok trends because that's how most companies do it now online. They follow the TikTok trends and hope that it goes viral, right? But a lot of them are not prioritizing original content because in Jamaica, honestly, the creative space was not really a space that was embraced. All right, 1 second. I get in a call. 1 second. Let me. Sorry about that. I got a call. I got a very important call, so I had to take the call. My bad. I'm back. I'm back to yapping. Sorry about that. I had to take a call. So yeah, I just feel I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like we need a breath of fresh air. Not saying that I am the breath of fresh air, right? Not saying that, hey, don't watch everybody else's content, only watch mine. That's not what I'm saying. There's a time and a place and a space for every type of content on the internet. Sometimes you just want to watch somebody go about their day. Sometimes you want to watch somebody cook. Sometimes you just want an informational video about a random topic that you never thought you would have been interested in before, right? But in the Jamaican context, sometimes it feels like if you are original, quote unquote, because like Kromnik said before, nothing is truly original. If you are, say, making untraditional content, let's kind of phrase it like that. If you're making content that's not the norm or the usual, you don't tend to be viewed, right? You have some people, and I feel like Jamaican people just fast, to be honest. Oh, for my international people, fast would just mean nosy. I feel like some Jamaican people are just nosy, right? And that's the type of content that gets views. Once you're in somebody's business, like for example, there's this girl named Danielle XO, I think on YouTube. I like her content too. She seems very chill, very nice. But I saw that she started to get a lot of views after she started making content about her separation, about her life falling apart. So I feel like people want to see when people's lives are falling apart. Not just in Jamaica, because I have a few content creators that I watch as well where like they're getting divorced or their families are falling apart. And it seems like people are only interested in your content when it is something about yourself or something about your family that is like a disaster. Like I see a couple of my influencers getting divorced. All right, 1 second, please. I get another Okay, sorry about that. I am tired. Maybe I should end the live stream. I think I'm gonna end the live stream and take a nap. Yeah. I think I'm done yapping for today. Let me see. I'm gonna read the last part of my notes. But yeah, there's a lack of creativity, lack of originality, which is not truly original because everything's been done before. Um, yeah. So I feel like they're trying to make organic content spaces and it's not working. But that's okay. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm gonna end my live stream like I end my videos. Come for the content, stay for the madness, and leave with the culture. Bye. Have a great day. Thank you so much for hopping in, guys.